Joe Harris went from the best shooter in the NBA to facing a tragic downfall in just 9 days.
Joe Harris, too strong. Tipped out to Harris, tries again, misses again.
How in the world did a 47.5% three-point sniper get out of the league in the blink of an eye? The devastating collapse of Joe Harris needs to be studied. The year is 2019, and Harris is invited to the three-point contest at the All-Star Weekend for leading the NBA in efficiency, shooting a blistering 47% from downtown. And in the first round, he sets the bar high right off the bat.
Well, the way to get the crowd into this, you start going on a string of making 5, 6, 7 in a row. That gets the crowd out of the seat.
I think he heard you.
Just like
That's
this.
3 in a row right there.
Oh, and this is his money ball. His money rack. His money rack. I told you he's going to have a good shot.
Get it.
A good shot. He's got that. This is how you get the fans out of the seat.
Harris heats up at the right time and knocks down all 5 money balls to finish with 25 points. But Buddy Hield and Steph Curry were sizzling hot as well, hitting 26 and 27 points respectively, putting the pressure on Joe to go first in the final round. And after missing his first 2 shots, Harris went unconscious, hitting 12 threes in a row.
And then the UVA where he fouled Coach Tony Bennett, who has recruited me to Washington State. He fouled at the UVA.
Be interested to see in the second round if anyone changes strategy, meaning where is that final ball rack, or where do they want that ball rack with the money ball?
His money ball rack is the last rack for him in the short corner, but you see how straight he's shooting?
That's automatic. And he replicates the success on the money rack from the previous round as well.
Actually get tired in the second round from the first round, or if you're going to get tired, it's the first one.
And on top of that, we had 3 rounds when we did it. Not 2. I'm not making excuses, but
Trending 6.
D'Lo, who was an all-star that season, raises his hand in the air to hype up his teammate. 26 is pretty darn good. Next up is Buddy Hield, who cracks under the bright lights and comes up short with only 19 points. This leads us to the absolute favorite, the greatest shooter on the planet. The entire arena came to see Steph Curry win the title. But then...
here's the question. Did he run out of gas? Did he run out of gas, people?
Joe Harris of the Brooklyn Nets has won.
Joe becomes the three-point champion by beating the GOAT. That season, the Nets made the playoffs as the 6th seed and even stole Game 1 against the 76ers. Harris had 13 points on 5 of 7 from the field in that game.
Harris heating up. That is 3 triples for Joe Harris.
But their moments of joy didn't last long, as Philly, led by Joel Embiid, manhandled them in the next 4 games. However, Nets fans started to see daylight at the end of the tunnel.
Breaking news on the Jump Free Agency special. Oh yes, Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Kevin Durant is in fact headed to Brooklyn to join Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan.
But the season itself was pretty chaotic. Durant sat out the entire year rehabbing from his Achilles injury, and Kyrie appeared in only 20 games, infamously opting out of the NBA bubble. Harris did his thing though, averaging 14.5 points on a rock-solid 42.5% shooting from long range. So when playoff time came, the Nets rolled out a starting 5 of Joe Harris, Caris LeVert, Garrett Temple, Rodion Kurucs, and Jarrett Allen. Expectedly, they got swept by the Raptors in the first round. Regardless, everything was set for the 2020-21 season, and just 2 weeks into it, the Nets sent some more shockwaves across the globe.
Breaking news, this coming from Adrian Wojnarowski reporting with Ramona Shelburne that the Brooklyn Nets have acquired Houston's James Harden in a blockbuster deal.
In what was a 72-game shortened season, the Nets, led by first-time head coach Steve Nash, finished with a 48-24 record, good enough for the 2nd seed in the East. And if you take into consideration the fact that the Big Three played in only 8 games together, that's actually great. Do you know what else was great? Joe's three-point shooting.
Harris got it. Joe straight away knocks it down.
Harris, step back. Oh, he is feeling it.
Harris was a rare constant, missing only 3 games for Brooklyn while posting 14 points on a league-best 47.5% shooting from distance. To lead the NBA twice in three-point percentage, you have to be a certified sniper. He was money from everywhere. And speaking of that, you may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. Here's why. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions of dollars for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps can contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent history verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. Now, Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. Click the link in the description to take a short quiz. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. So with everyone healthy, they entered the playoffs ready to attack the NBA title. It was a championship or bust for the Nets.
There is no excuse on God's green earth for this team not to be in the NBA Finals out of the Eastern Conference, plain and simple.
So in the second round, they faced off against the third-seeded Bucks, and just 50 seconds into Game 1, disaster struck for Brooklyn. James Harden hurt his hamstring and had to leave the game for good. But the Nets didn't have problems handling Milwaukee as KD and Kyrie combined for 54 points. The most efficient one though? Joe Harris.
As the second quarter gets underway, here's Joe Harris for 3. Those were games that kind of got away, so Boston was able to score. Here's Harris for 3.
He scored 11 of his 19 points in the second half on a strong 7 of 11 from the field. Game 2 saw Brooklyn winning by 40. It seemed like they didn't need Harden to move past the Bucks. Joe had a solid outing with 13 points, shooting 43% from deep. But little did he know that this was going to be his last good game of the series. As a matter of fact, things turned ugly for Harris and the Nets in the blink of an eye.
Playing with 3 fouls out of it in the first half, guarding Durant. Joe Harris, too strong. Tipped out to Harris, tries again, misses again. Rebound deflected into the hands of Claxton. Back to Joe Harris for a 2-pointer. And Claxton another offensive rebound. Harris for 3.
In Game 3 in Milwaukee, Joe went ice cold all of a sudden, hitting only 1 of his 11 shots from the field. That's nasty. Up by a single point in the clutch, KD passes to Harris, who's all alone near the free throw line. A shooter of his caliber should make this in his sleep. But he misses again, which leads us to this.
16 seconds remaining.
And deciding not to call a timeout.
Holiday spin move, gets inside, layup's good! It's good! And the Bucks go up by 1 with 11.4 remaining. Out to Durant. Durant, one dribble, fires it up. Oh, back of the rim. Jubilation here in Milwaukee. The Bucks are right back in the series.
In Game 4, the pain just kept on growing for Brooklyn because
boy, this is a very physical game as Irving throws it in, goes down hard on his right shoulder. He's shaken up, now he's holding his right leg. It's 5-on-4 as Kyrie Irving holding that right shin and banging the court. Nets, of course, have had their share of injuries all season long, including their stars.
Irving goes down with a scary ankle injury after landing on Giannis's foot. The Greek Freak used that to take over the game and with 18 of his 34 points in the second half to guide his team to the victory. Harris didn't do much to help KD, shooting just 3 for 8 from the field for 8 points total. Back home for Game 5, Joe was due for a bounce back. But instead,
Pass, but Harris could not put it home. Harris for 3. As it carries out of bounds. Final second, third quarter. Harris for 3 with an air ball.
Harris's shot was nowhere to be found. A miserable 2 for 11 shooting from the field for 5 points total. Fortunately for the Nets, Durant went God mode and with 31 of his 49 points on 70% efficiency in the second half, flipped the script all by himself. He had 17 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, and a couple of blocks as well, in probably one of his best games of his career. For Game 6 in Milwaukee, KD desperately needed some more help.
Joe Harris has struggled shooting the basketball in this series and misses his first attempt.
He's 4 for his last 21 from three-point territory.
Joe ran around for 36 minutes, hitting only 1 triple of 4 tries, finishing another subpar game with 9 points. So the series was moving back to Brooklyn for a deciding Game 7. Another chance for Harris to redeem himself for this absolute nightmare so far. But at the biggest stage of all, he crumbled.
Now here's Brown on the drive, kicks it out. Harris comes up short on a three-pointer. The Nets led by as many as 10. Harris, this time off the back rim.
Joe shot brick after brick, and if it wasn't for KD, the Nets would be done by now.
Gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining.
Thanks to his remarkable 48 points, 9 boards and 6 assists, they were headed to overtime. All tied in the extra period, Harris had 2 wide open looks from deep but couldn't hit anything. It's like he lost all his confidence and his powers during these 9 days when they went from up 2-0 to losing the series in 7 games. Get this, he went from a league best 51% including game 2 to a horrid 24% in the last 5 games of the playoffs. That's a historic drop. The Big 3 project was done with the departure of Harden to Philly the following season. Harris got back to shooting an elite 46% from distance, and he surpassed Jason Kidd for most made threes in Nets history in October of 2021. A month later, he injured his ankle, which required surgery. After a complicated rehab, another surgery was done to his ankle, after which Harris lost a lot of his burst. He was never the same, as he became a bench guy in 2023, only to be traded to the Pistons, where he ended his career a season later. Joe still holds the 5th best career three-point percentage in NBA history with 43.6%, behind sharpshooters like Steve Kerr, Hubert Davis, Luke Kennard, and Dražen Petrovic. But his sudden downfall in the 2021 playoffs will forever be a mystery. Meanwhile, the guy that he beat in the 2019 three-point shootout is still going strong. In back-to-back games in 2025, some guys tried to mess with Steph Curry, and he made them regret instantly by turning non-human. You have to see exactly what happened right here in this video. Talk to you in the next one. Peace out.